I had no idea the path I would take, which had so many detours, 18 years in business but if I could have picked it, looking backwards, this is what I would have picked, because I can't think of a place where I could have had better experiences with wonderful friends and colleagues and students in particular. I grew up in Baltimore, and for reasons that I can't entirely account for, I didn't like the city as I was growing up. I wanted nothing more than to leave Baltimore. But the college I went to seemed like it was the other end of the universe from where I grew up. But I discovered this small liberal arts college called St. John's College, and it transformed my life immeasurably. It really awakened in me a spirit of wanting to learn. And it's been with me ever since. Whatever effect that may have had, it seems to me, it really does encourage learning for its own sake. I don't know exactly when it became clear to me that I wanted to be a teacher, but it was pretty early on. I loved learning, I loved reading, I loved studying, so I just wanted to go on in school. So it dawned on me, well, the most likely thing to do as a career is then try to teach. I started to appreciate the value of the opportunity to help people go where they're going. And I wrote my dissertation on Plato. Plato has an interesting idea about teaching, which is that teaching is not the transfer of information from sort of this one vessel that has all the knowledge to this empty vessel, the student that's empty and, like you transfer. He completely rejects that idea of teaching. Teaching is simply making the occasion for learning. But learning takes place in the soul of the learner. And needless to say, that can happen anywhere. One thing I regard myself as doing is facilitating the possibility of learning. But I really see my role as much more than that, which is to do good in the world. What I mean by that is helping students figure out what their path is or how to get to the next step of their life or whatever it is. In order to do that, you have to know the person you're trying to help and see where they are. Where are you meeting them? What do they need at this stage of their life? I can say unequivocally the best students I've ever had have been at Moorpark College. And I don't know why that is. So many. And more I've noticed students are increasingly self-motivated, thoughtful, driven, really curious and interested in learning. And that makes my job a pleasure. I don't have a single moment in teaching or in my professional life that I can say this was the high point. But I have a stack of either written notices or memories of students and their accomplishments that give me the greatest satisfaction. My greatest claim to fame in the wide world is that I was in the first team of boomerang throwers to challenge the Australians to an international boomerang tournament in 1981. 12 of us went to Australia. I was a member of the team because I've been involved with the sport of boomeranging since before that. And the U.S. beat the Australians 6 out of 7 matches. So we were like, the world champs in boomerangs. And I took my grandsons and, stepson to a boomerang tournament this last summer. They went for the first time, and my grandson won one of the events because everyone in my family grows up throwing boomerangs. My daughter's first word was boomerang because I've been like a boomerang thrower since I was in college. So it's just part of the family heritage.